Nunasup avanani Asasara inufisa.
Greenland is an emerging nation. Most of its people live modern lives, but some still follow the old ways. Scoresbysund is one of the most isolated inhabited places in the world. It is a community of hunters that preserves some of the old ways to gain a living from a hostile environment. Spring is in the air. Despite the cold, there is a feeling of contentment. People take life slowly. There's no reason to rush, except perhaps when hunting. But the sea will remain frozen until July, so a hunting trip can wait until tomorrow. Scoresbysund is a 70-year-old village. In 1925, people moved up here from Ammassalik and the west coast of Greenland. Survival had become difficult there, and Scoresbysund provided a new and better hunting ground. 85 people arrived at the new settlement, but they had to learn to live in a new environment, and things were not always easy. They arrived on the Gustaf home via Iceland, where they had made a good impression locally. They had not been scared by the motor traffic, but they thought horses and cattle were enormous dogs. The people settled into their new home, and the population grew. But life is still not easy. There is little employment at Scoresbysund, and many men have still to live the hard life of a hunter. A serious problem for modern Scoresbysund is that there is no landing strip there, and only one supply ship reaches the settlement in late summer. The lifeline is the weekly flight from Iceland. The first sight of Greenland is the famous icy mountains. The plane lands at Constable Point. It is 40 kilometers from Scoresbysund. Here, people and cargo are transferred to a waiting helicopter for the final stage to Scoresbysund. It is a very spectacular flight. During the winter, all essential supplies have to be flown in by helicopter, and prices in the shops rise. But the helicopter is a welcome link with the outside world. The people of Scoresbysund feel their isolation. So, old and young come out to greet the helicopter. Everyone is curious to see who is coming and what goods are arriving. Also, there is not much else to do in the town. There are no pubs or cinemas where people can pass the time on long winter's evenings, so the helicopter's visit is a social occasion.
There are now about 500 people living here. Most still live by hunting. There are few services, but some tourists have come here in the past 2 or 3 years.
Tourist facilities are still very basic. For example, accommodation is very limited and is of the youth hostel type. There are very few souvenirs for sale, but there is a warm welcome, and people who speak Danish are happy to explain the art of cleaning a polar bear skin. But what is life here really like? Being so isolated has its drawbacks, for example the limited services and the difficulty of getting about. In the past, everybody lived by hunting. Now, there are a few other jobs, such as working in the co-op and the post office, but many people have to survive on welfare. Motor sledges are being used more, but they have not replaced dogs, and the hunters continue to use them when they go out on the frozen sea. This is an area where the traditional life can be used to provide an attraction for tourists. We are going to visit some hunters out on the ice and call in at some villages. Our guides are 3 local hunters, Boas, Einar and Nils. Although they are only showing us around, they will bring their rifles just in case. No one takes chances if there is a possibility of meeting a polar bear. Riding on a dog sledge is a thrilling experience. The dogs are characters, and the scenery is magnificent, and the pace of life slow. But dress for warmth. The highest summer temperature is only 16 degrees, but the lowest in winter is -44. You can expect -10 on a day like this. The wind is much more important for affecting how you feel. Luckily, the weather is usually calm in this part of the world. At first, the sea ice seems to be a flat white sheet, but there are ups and downs, and incredible colours, blues and greens. Our guides are well equipped with tents, cooking equipment, and even a boat. There is food for us and the dogs, so they are prepared for anything. And we sit on muskox skins to keep us warm. Hot tea is welcome at any time. The going is hard now, and the sledges are heavily loaded. All the hunters keep teams of dogs, which are a big investment of money. But this is the only practical method of travel for them. We had heard of some hunters camping on the ice edge, but we couldn't find them. Perhaps they had given up and gone home. Anything can happen out here. Never mind, we're only sightseeing, and we would have disturbed the hunters anyway. Our guides are always watching for movements of the ice, to make sure that we are safe. While the dogs take a breather, we can walk around to stretch our legs and keep warm. Off again, and we are heading for a hunter's house. Evening has come, and we are looking forward to relaxing in the warm house. As we arrive, we see these 2 little boys going out to collect snow for water. First of all, the dogs have to be settled for the night. The householder comes out to meet us. He is a hunter, but his wife is visiting friends in the next village. We are waiting impatiently for our evening meal. So are the dogs. And they get theirs first. So there is much to see in a few days' stay around Scoresbysund. It would be nice to be there longer and to see Scoresbysund in all its moods. Summer would be a good time to return, when Greenland really does turn green around the edges. We could walk about without all these heavy clothes on, in a landscape dotted with colourful flowers, where the birds come to nest. And the sun never sets behind the mountains. But now we have to get back, and the dogs are eager to get home. The going is very good, so we enjoy our last days as experienced sledgers. We have had a wonderful time, and the hunters have benefited from our visit as well. The people of Scoresbysund are proud of their town. It is their home, and they do not want to go anywhere else. But the future lies with the children. The young ones are happy enough, but what happens when they grow up and want to see the bright lights and have a job? There is no secondary school here, so they have to go to the west coast or to Denmark. There they learn about the outside world. Will they come back? Is there a future for them in Scoresbysund, or will they just drift away? It will help if those who want to stay can have some employment. Perhaps tourism is the answer. Tourism is like hunting. If it is well regulated, it is sustainable and will provide a regular income. Its proceeds will also benefit the whole community. The scenery of Scoresbysund and the calm weather are perfect for dog sledging, skiing in spring or even in summer on the permanent ice fields. There is kayaking on the sheltered waters of Scoresbysund in summer. And there is walking, observing nature, or just absorbing the peace of the place. There are plenty of opportunities for visitors. And we have discovered the attractions of Scoresbysund and its welcoming people. But it is important that tourism does not destroy Greenland and its isolated communities. Tourism at Scoresbysund is just starting. It gives a marvellous opportunity to visit a remote, unspoilt part of the world, which is incredibly beautiful. And the people of Scoresbysund are looking forward to this new development. They will welcome careful visitors. The pioneers are arriving. Why not join in?
Tanna